Yeah, it's recording. It's recording. Hi. Um, I've been thinking about uh, some events I went through, and that seemed to be out of the Twilight Zone. Uh, Coincidences that seem to be more than just coincidences. One was where a friend of the family uh, went to uh, a thrift store and bought a jacket in this town that we're staying in, small town, and my mom pointed out to him, "Hey, that jacket looks exactly like my dad's jacket that he had back in the Tule Lake a long time ago." But if it was his jacket, his initials would be, uh, well, his name would be written in the back under, because my mom, my granny, would write the name and the property of who, and that's the only way it would. That would be the only way. And so he took off the jacket, and guess what? It was it was my grandpa's jacket that he bought at a thrift store, and that was a big coincidence. Another one was when I was a trucker. I got a book on tape called The Unnamed, and I was driving, and um, the novel mentioned this road that I just happened to be driving on at the same time. It's like, what? I'm on this road right now. It was in Kansas. And then it mentioned uh, the the logo of the Sinclair gas station, which is a green brontosaurus. And right when it said that, I just happened to be looking right up at the logo of the green brontosaurus, and that's just huge, huge coincidence. And then this latest coincidence I had was I wanted to get coconut milk for some goat curry I was making, and I went to a store that I thought might have goat curry, and that might have coconut milk, and it didn't. It had it had coconut water, and it had coconut milk, but I mean, it didn't have coconut milk. It had coconut water. Well, it didn't have coconut milk. That's all I can say. And as I was walking from that store, a few yards away, I was on the sidewalk near a Starbucks. I looked down and I saw two containers of coconut milk laying under some bushes. Well, not quite under the bushes, but enough for me to grab my attention. And they must have been there for a few days because they had rain splatters on them, mud, and it was just enough coconut milk for this goat curry I was making. And I thought, now, if I were an Arminian type Christian, I would have to believe that, okay, there's free will, and that God's not guiding my steps like a Calvinist would believe, and that the uh, coconut milk containers just happened to appear there, and that it wasn't planned. God didn't have some a homeless person place them there. He just magically made them appear there and had me look down and see them. That's what I would believe if I were an Armenian. Uh, that it wasn't placed there days ago, and God planned everything to have it planned there. So I would then look down, because that shows that God's in control of all things, Calvinist point of view, but that God magically made that appear there. But when it comes to the other stuff, the Armenian point of view takes on a different turn because it would have to be. I see it more Calvinist. I can't see how the Arminian point of view works for me looking up and seeing the Sinclair logo of the gas station right at that same time, to be on that same road and having that thing playing, the book on tape, or it was book on CD actually, to have it all timed like that seems to go beyond just having the Sinclair gas station appear there magically so I would see it, you know. But I must admit, I did try to find that same gas station on Google Maps a few years later, and I couldn't find it. So maybe God did make it just appear, you know. I mean, I couldn't find it, so yeah, I couldn't find it. But maybe I was. So maybe God did make it appear, yeah, just to have it go along with the novel, yeah. But if it was there all that time, and God didn't make it appear, then that goes against the Armenian point of view and is more for the Calvinists, where God is controlling everything, you know. Uh, Truck stops, having me do this and that and all that, just to have it where I would eventually look up be on that same road that was playing at the same, that was being mentioned on that CD at that same time that I was on that road, and then looking up and at the Sinclair logo sign. If that was planned, then we really have no free will. It's God in control of everything. And now with my friend, the friend of the family with the coat, that seems to be another one of those. I can't. That seems to prove again the Calvinist point of view, that God's in control of all things, just to freak us out that he would decide to get that coat and not know that my grandfather's name was that was his coat, you know. And then he comes up there, my mom recognizes it. Goes, oh, it's just like my grandfather used to have, that my dad used to have, but except he would have the name on it, and then he takes it off and it's there, you know. So to me, that seems to be point to the Calvinist point of view over the Arminian. Yeah, just because it's too involved with my. For the Armenian point of view, my friend would have to have been magically transformed with the coat and everything. And I don't see that happening. So I think it was planned. And it takes on the Calvinist point of view, which, if true, means we don't have free will. Yeah. And by the way, I do have the Calvinist point of view, except that I believe that God's working all things to the point where everyone will eventually be saved. Yeah. There's a scripture that says, and so all Israel shall be saved. And I had a Jewish friend just now, almost a week ago. Yeah. She had a stone setting, and I tried to explain it to my Jewish friends about how, and so all Israel shall be saved, but I think I really blew it, and I haven't heard from them, so they probably think I'm a crazy Christian, so I don't know. Haven't heard from them since. Yeah. But